You understand why we have to do this, Doctor.
I understand you are following procedure, officer.
Just cooperate and this will be over quickly.
Hurry? The officer asked. Marcus glanced back at the building. The emergency entrance. A stretcher rushed past inside. Someone was bleeding. Someone was waiting for him. I work there, Marcus said calmly. I'm on call. The officer's eyes flicked to Marcus's clothes. The plain jacket. The ID badge tucked halfway in his pocket. You don't look like you work anywhere important, the officer said. Marcus felt it then. The familiar drop in his chest. The quiet shift. The moment when respect vanished. I need to go, Marcus said. There's a patient. The officer stepped closer. Too close. Don't rush me, he said. You people always think your time matters more. The word hit without being spoken. A second officer leaned on the car, watching. Silent. Smiling. Marcus swallowed. He measured his breath. He had learned how to do that years ago. Sir, Marcus said, slower now, please step back. The officer laughed once. Sharp. Or what? He said. You'll complain to your boss. He leaned in, voice low. You should be grateful I even stopped you. Inside the hospital, an alarm began to sound. And the officer reached for his radio. Hands where I can see them. Dr. Marcus Reed froze. His hands were already visible, palms open at his sides, fingers stiff from the cold. He slowly raised them higher anyway. Not too fast. Never too fast. Yes, sir, he said. Officer Keller stood a few feet away, legs wide, one hand resting on his belt. The other hovered near the radio clipped to his chest. His eyes moved over Marcus, not searching, judging. What's your name? Keller asked. Marcus Reed. Keller repeated it wrong. Marcus? Reed. Marcus Reed, Marcus said again. Calm. Flat. Keller didn't correct himself. He turned slightly, as if Marcus was no longer worth his full attention. What are you doing loitering outside a hospital this late? Keller asked. Marcus looked past him. Through the glass doors. He could see movement. Nurses moving fast. A gurney pushed hard down the hall. I work here, Marcus said. I was called in. Keller's eyebrow lifted. Just a little. You work here, he repeated. Doing what? I'm a doctor. The word hung there. Keller smiled. Not wide. Tight. Sure you are, he said. The second officer leaned against the patrol car, arms crossed. He said nothing. His silence pressed in on Marcus more than Keller's voice. I have my ID, Marcus said. I need to get inside. There's a patient waiting. Keller didn't move. Funny, he said. Most doctors don't hang around outside looking nervous. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. I was on my phone, he said. I just arrived. Keller stepped closer. Marcus could smell his breath now. Coffee. Mint. Don't get smart with me, Keller said quietly. I'm not, Marcus said. Inside, a monitor beeped louder. Faster. Marcus swallowed. He pictured the patient. Middle-aged. Chest pain. The scan that needed review. The decision only he could make. Please, Marcus said. I need to go. Keller laughed once. You don't get to decide that, he said. He glanced at Marcus's clothes again. The plain jacket. No white coat. No scrubs. You people always think a badge or a title protects you, Keller said. Out here, I'm the one in charge. The second officer shifted his weight. Still silent. Marcus felt heat rise behind his eyes. He forced it down. Am I being detained? Marcus asked. Keller's smile faded. You asking for a problem? He said. No, Marcus said. I'm asking for clarity. Keller turned away, pressing the button on his radio. Dispatch, he said, slow and deliberate. I've got a male refusing to comply. Running his name. Marcus's chest tightened. Refusing to comply. He had said nothing wrong. Done nothing wrong. And still, the words were already changing. Keller looked back at him. Stay right there, he said. The hospital alarm sounded again. And Marcus realized this wasn't about procedure. It was about control. POV, third person limited, Marcus. Officer Keller kept his back turned. That was the point. Marcus stood still, hands still raised, shoulders starting to ache. The night air felt colder now. Or maybe his body was just more aware of itself. Every breath, every movement, every mistake he couldn't afford to make. "Dispatch, I'm spelling the name," Keller said into the radio. "Amaya? No, wait." He paused. Marcus knew that pause. "Say it again," Keller said, without looking back. "Marcus Reed," Marcus replied. Keller smiled to himself. "Yeah," he said into the radio, dragging the words. "Marcus Reed. Black male. Mid-30s. Standing outside memorial." Marcus felt the label land before the name. The second officer shifted again. He glanced toward the hospital doors, then away. He didn't speak. Marcus lowered his hands slightly, just enough to ease the strain. "Sir," Marcus said, "careful, I'm cooperating. I've given you my name. I've told you why I'm here." Keller turned around slowly. "I didn't tell you to move," he said. Marcus raised his hands back up. "I'm sorry," he said. The word tasted bitter. Keller stepped closer again. Close enough that Marcus could see a small scar near his eyebrow. Old. Faded. A reminder of something Keller probably talked about like a badge of honor. "You see," Keller said, "this is how it works. I ask questions. You answer. I decide what happens next." Marcus nodded once. Inside his head, another voice spoke. "Don't escalate. Don't challenge. Stay alive. Stay useful." "I understand," Marcus said. Keller looked disappointed. He turned back to the radio. "Dispatch, check for priors," Keller said. Marcus's stomach dropped. "There won't be any," Marcus said before he could stop himself. Keller's head snapped toward him. "You talking again?" Keller said. Marcus inhaled slowly. Exhaled. "I'm just trying to help," he said. Keller laughed softly. "Funny," he said. "Sounds like you're trying to rush me." A car slowed across the street. Someone inside stared too long. Marcus noticed. He always noticed. The hospital doors opened. A nurse stepped halfway out, scanning the sidewalk. Her eyes landed on Marcus. Relief flashed, then confusion. Then fear. She hesitated. Keller noticed her too. "Can I help you?" Keller called out, sharp. The nurse stopped. I was looking for Dr. Reed," she said. Marcus's heart jumped. "That's me," he said. Keller raised a hand between them. Please go back inside," he said. "Police matter." The nurse looked at Marcus. He gave a small shake of his head. "Not now." She backed away. The doors slid shut. Marcus felt something crack in his chest. Keller turned to him again. "Funny thing," Keller said. "Everyone's always in a hurry. Always important. But when I show up, suddenly no one's special." "That's not true," Marcus said quietly. Keller leaned in. "Out here," he whispered, "it is." The radio crackled. "Dispatch here. Still running." Keller nodded, satisfied. He took his time. Adjusted his belt. Looked around. Across the street, a man had stopped walking. His phone was out. Not obvious. Just angled enough. Marcus saw it. Keller didn't. Or pretended not to. "Sir," Marcus said, heart pounding, "my patient." Keller cut him off. "You keep saying that," he said. "Almost like you want me to feel bad." He straightened. "Here's what I'm thinking," Keller said. "You're acting nervous. You don't look like staff. Hospital's been having issues lately." Marcus said nothing. "I could hold you a little longer," Keller continued. "Just to be safe." The threat sat there. Calm. Legal sounding. Marcus felt trapped between two harms. A life inside. His own freedom outside. The radio crackled again. "Dispatch here." "Still checking." Keller smiled. "See," he said. "Patience." Inside the hospital, an announcement echoed faintly through the glass. "Attention staff." Marcus closed his eyes for half a second. When he opened them, he knew something terrible was getting closer. And Keller wasn't done yet. The announcement echoed again inside the hospital. "Attention staff. Code." The rest was swallowed by the thick glass doors. Marcus didn't need to hear the word. His body already knew. His pulse kicked harder. His mouth went dry. "That's my patient," Marcus said. Officer Keller didn't react. He stared at his phone now, scrolling slowly, as if nothing urgent existed within 100 miles. You doctors sure love drama, Keller said. I'm not being dramatic, Marcus said. Someone is dying. Keller finally looked up. Everyone's dying, he said flatly. Doesn't mean I skip steps. Marcus clenched his fists, then forced them open again. He felt the familiar pressure behind his eyes. The instinct to speak louder. To demand. To remind this man who he was. He swallowed it. I can help, Marcus said. Let me go inside. You can stand right there and watch me. Keller tilted his head. You think I'm your security guard now? I think you don't want a death on your conscience, Marcus said before he could stop himself. The second officer shifted sharply. Keller stepped forward. Careful, Keller said. His voice dropped. You're starting to sound threatening. Marcus's chest tightened. That's not what I meant, Marcus said quickly. I'm asking you to do the right thing. Keller smiled. There it is, he said. You people always say that. Like I don't already know. The doors slid open again. A different nurse stepped out this time. Older. More tired. She stopped when she saw the scene. Officer, she said carefully, this man is Dr. Reed. He's needed inside. Keller turned slowly. He said, I told the last one. This is police business. This is a hospital emergency, she replied. We are short-staffed. Keller raised his voice just enough. Go. Back. Inside. The nurse hesitated. Marcus met her eyes. He shook his head again. Not yet. Not like this. She retreated. The doors closed. Marcus felt something collapse inside him. Keller turned back to him. You see? Keller said. Even they know better than to interfere. The radio crackled. Dispatch here. Name still processing. Keller exhaled loudly, annoyed. What's taking so long? He muttered. Marcus stared at the hospital sign above them. His name was on a plaque inside that building. He had helped design this wing. He had argued for funding. For equipment. For staff. None of it mattered here. Officer Keller, Marcus said. Keller looked surprised. You know my name? It's on your badge, Marcus said. Keller's eyes hardened. Don't get familiar, he said. I'm not, Marcus replied. I'm asking you to listen. Keller took a step back, reassessing. You've got a lot of nerve, he said. Standing there like you belong. I do belong, Marcus said quietly. The second officer cleared his throat. Keller, he said, low. Dispatch might. Keller shot him a look. Stay out of it, Keller snapped. Silence fell again. Across the street, the man with the phone had moved closer. Still pretending to scroll. Still watching. Marcus felt the weight of eyes now. Witnesses. Inside, another announcement echoed. Louder this time. Code Blue. Emergency Department. Marcus closed his eyes. That was it. He stepped forward. Just one step. I'm going inside, Marcus said. Keller moved instantly. His hand shot out, blocking Marcus's chest. Don't, Keller said. Marcus froze. His heart slammed against his ribs. You touched that door, Keller continued, voice calm and deadly, and this goes from a conversation to an arrest. For what? Marcus asked. Obstruction, Keller said easily. Failure to comply. Take your pick. Marcus looked at the door. Then at Keller. Then at the second officer, who wouldn't meet his eyes. He thought of the patient. The family waiting. The moment slipping away. He stepped back. Keller smiled, victorious. Good choice, he said. The radio crackled again. Dispatch here. We've got partial confirmation. Keller straightened. Go ahead, he said. Marcus held his breath. Stand by, dispatch added. Details incoming. Keller glanced at Marcus, eyes sharp now. Looks like we're about to learn a lot about you, he said. Marcus felt a cold certainty settle in his chest. Whatever came next, this wasn't staying quiet. And someone inside was running out of time. Keller didn't rush. That was the cruelty of it. He stood with his back to Marcus, one hand on his radio, the other resting comfortably on his belt. The red and blue lights washed over the sidewalk again and again, like a slow pulse. Marcus sat on the curb, spine straight, hands resting on his knees. He refused to let his body collapse. He refused to give Keller that. Across the street, the bystander stepped closer. His phone was fully up now. No hiding it. Keller noticed. "Sir," Keller called out without turning, "I'm going to need you to keep moving." The man didn't. "I'm just standing," the man said. "Public sidewalk." Keller turned slowly. "You want to make this about you too?" Keller asked. The man hesitated. Then shook his head. "No, sir." But he didn't lower the phone. Keller smirked and turned back to Marcus. "See," he said. "Everyone wants a story." Marcus said nothing. Inside the hospital, the doors burst open again. This time, a man in a blazer stepped out. Late 50s. Gray hair. Sharp eyes. "Officer," the man said. "I'm on the hospital board." Marcus's heart jumped. Keller sighed, exaggerated. "Tonight's popular," he muttered. The man stepped closer. "That man is Dr. Reed. He needs to be inside." Keller finally turned fully. "Sir," Keller said, voice smooth, "with all due respect, you don't outrank me out here." "I'm not trying to," the man replied. "I'm trying to prevent harm." Keller nodded slowly. "Funny thing about harm," he said. "Everyone claims it when they don't get their way." Marcus looked up at the board member. Their eyes met. Recognition flashed there. Relief. Then frustration. The board member took a breath. "Officer, Dr. Reed is not just." Keller cut him off. "I don't care what he is," Keller said. "I care about what he's doing. And right now, he's being detained." "For what?" the man asked. Keller didn't answer immediately. He glanced at Marcus. "Suspicious behavior," he said finally. "Failure to comply." Marcus felt a bitter laugh rise in his chest. He crushed it. The second officer stepped closer now. His voice was low. "Keller, dispatch already confirmed him." "And I asked for a full check," Keller snapped. "You got a problem with that?" The second officer went quiet again. The board member looked between them. He pulled out his phone. "I'm calling legal," he said. Keller shrugged. "Do what you have to do," he said. "So will I." The radio crackled. "Dispatch to Keller. Full check complete." Keller straightened. "Go ahead," he said. "Subject has no warrants. No priors. Valid credentials confirmed." Silence followed. For a moment, Marcus thought that might be it. Then Keller laughed. "That's great," Keller said. "Clean record. Congratulations." He looked down at Marcus. "But here's the thing," Keller continued. "Being a doctor doesn't mean you can ignore police instructions." "I didn't," Marcus said quietly. Keller leaned down. "You questioned me," he said. "You pressured me. You tried to move when I told you not to." Marcus met his eyes. "I asked for help," Marcus said. Keller straightened. "Same difference," he replied. The board member stared at Keller. "You're doing this on purpose." Keller smiled thinly. "Watch your tone," he said. A car pulled up near the curb. A woman stepped out with a camera bag slung over her shoulder. She scanned the scene quickly. Marcus recognized her. A local journalist. Her eyes locked on him. Then Keller. Then the phones across the street. She raised her camera. Keller noticed too late. Keller said sharply, "This is an active situation." The journalist didn't stop. "Is that Dr. Marcus Reed?" she asked aloud. The name carried. People murmured. Marcus felt the air change. Keller's jaw tightened. "You're interfering," Keller said. "I'm documenting," she replied calmly. Marcus felt something shift inside him. Not relief. Not yet. Just pressure moving. Keller stepped closer to Marcus again. "You're causing a scene," Keller said under his breath. Marcus looked up at him. "You did that," he said. Keller's eyes hardened. He turned to the radio. "Dispatch," Keller said, voice sharp, "advise on obstruction charges." The second officer stiffened. "Keller," he said, louder now. "This is getting out of hand." Keller ignored him. The journalist's camera clicked. The board member's phone buzzed. Inside the hospital, another alarm sounded. Marcus felt the moment stretch thin. This was no longer just about delay. It was about damage. Keller looked down at Marcus one last time. "You keep pushing," he said quietly, "and I will put cuffs on you." Marcus held his gaze. "Then everyone will see," he said. Keller's hand hovered near his cuffs. The radio crackled again. "Dispatch to Keller. Supervisor requesting update." Keller froze. Just for a second. And in that second, Marcus knew. Something was about to break. Keller didn't answer the radio right away. That pause was new. He stared at the patrol car for a moment, jaw tight, as if deciding which version of himself to use next. The lights kept flashing. Red. Blue. Red. Blue. The journalist stepped closer. "Supervisor requesting update," she said lightly, reading the moment. "That's serious, right?" Keller shot her a look. "This doesn't concern you," he said. She raised her camera anyway. "It concerns the public," she replied. Marcus felt the weight shift again. Not relief. Pressure. The kind that bends steel slowly, then all at once. The board member's phone rang. He answered quietly, stepping a few feet away. He nodded. Once. Then again. Keller pressed his radio button. "Go ahead," he said. "Where are you at with the stop?" the supervisor asked. Keller straightened his shoulders. "Still verifying," he said. "Subject's been uncooperative." Marcus let out a slow breath through his nose. Uncooperative. The lie landed clean and familiar. The journalist glanced at Marcus. Her eyes asked a question she didn't say. He gave a small shake of his head. "Not yet." The board member walked back. "They're sending someone," he said quietly. Keller's eyes flicked to him. "Who's they?" Keller asked. The board member met his gaze. "The city," he said. "And the hospital." Keller scoffed. "Hospital doesn't run the street," he said. "No," the board member replied. "But it runs itself." He gestured toward the building. "You know whose name is on that wing?" he asked. Keller didn't answer. Marcus felt his chest tighten. He hadn't wanted it this way. Hadn't wanted names or titles to matter. He had hoped, foolishly, that being human would be enough. The board member continued. "That trauma wing," he said. "Dr. Reed fought for it. Funding. Staffing. Equipment." Keller turned slowly toward Marcus. "That true?" he asked. Marcus met his eyes. "Yes," he said. Keller studied him. Really studied him this time. The calm. The restraint. The way he never begged. Something flickered in Keller's expression. Not regret. Calculation. "So," Keller said, "you're a big deal." Marcus shook his head. "I'm a doctor," he said. "Doing my job." Keller smiled again, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Funny thing about big deals," he said. "They usually announce themselves." "I didn't need to," Marcus replied. The second officer stepped forward. His voice was firmer now. "Keller, we should clear this. Now." Keller didn't look at him. "Relax," Keller said. "Supervisor's on the way. Let's do this clean." Clean. Marcus heard what he meant. Control the story. The journalist's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then at Marcus. "Your name is already trending," she said softly. Marcus closed his eyes for a moment. This wasn't justice yet. It was exposure. A black SUV pulled up near the curb. The doors opened. A man in a dark coat stepped out. Confident. Measured. Hospital administration. He scanned the scene, then walked straight to Marcus. "Dr. Reed," he said, voice tight. "We need you inside." Keller moved quickly, stepping between them. "Not yet," Keller said. "This is still an active stop." The man looked at Keller. "Officer," he said, "that man is the chief medical officer of this hospital." The words landed hard. The bystanders gasped. The journalist's camera clicked rapidly. The second officer's head snapped up. Keller froze. Just for a second. "Chief. Medical. Officer." Marcus watched the realization spread across Keller's face. Not shame. Not apology. Fear. "That's not," Keller started. "It is," the administrator said. "And you're delaying emergency care." Keller swallowed. He pressed his radio. "Dispatch," he said, voice tight, "confirm subject's role." The radio crackled almost immediately. "Confirmed," dispatch said. "Dr. Marcus Reed. Chief Medical Officer." Silence fell. The hospital doors slid open behind them. Staff stood watching now. Nurses. Doctors. Security. Marcus slowly stood up. He felt every eye on him. Keller took a step back. His authority, moments ago unshakable, wavered. Marcus didn't raise his voice. "I told you who I was," he said. Keller said nothing. The supervisor's car turned onto the street, lights flashing. Marcus looked past Keller, toward the hospital. "I need to go inside," he said. This time, no one stopped him. But as he took his first step forward, Marcus knew. This wasn't over. Because exposure had just begun. The supervisor's car stopped hard at the curb. The engine cut. The door opened. Lieutenant Harris stepped out, tall, deliberate, eyes already taking inventory. The crowd. The phones. The cameras. The hospital staff frozen just inside the doors. He looked at Keller first. "What's going on?" Harris asked. Keller opened his mouth. Closed it. Then tried again. "Routine stop," Keller said. Subject was. Harris raised a hand. "Doctor," he said, looking past Keller. "Are you injured?" Marcus shook his head. "No," he said. "Just delayed." The word carried more weight than any accusation. Harris's jaw tightened. He glanced at Keller. "Delayed from what?" he asked. "A code blue," Marcus said. "In my hospital." Silence. Harris exhaled slowly. He turned to Keller. "Body cams on?" Harris asked. Keller hesitated. "Yes," he said. Harris nodded once. "Good," he said. The journalist stepped closer. "Lieutenant," she said, "can you confirm why the chief medical officer was detained outside his own hospital during an emergency?" Harris didn't answer her. "Not yet." He looked at Marcus. "You're free to go," Harris said. Marcus didn't move immediately. He looked at Keller. Keller wouldn't meet his eyes. Marcus turned and walked toward the doors. The hospital staff parted for him. Someone touched his arm briefly. Grounding. Real. As the doors closed behind him, Marcus heard Harris's voice. "Officer Keller," Harris said, "step aside." Inside, the hospital swallowed him whole. Bright lights. Running feet. Shouted instructions. Marcus washed his hands at the sink, staring at his reflection. Calm face. Steady eyes. A man who looked untouched. He wasn't. Dr. Patel said, "Urgent. We need you. Now." Marcus nodded and moved. The procedure blurred. Decisions snapped into place. Muscle memory took over. He worked like someone who had no room for doubt. When it was over, Marcus stepped back, heart pounding. The patient stabilized. Not saved yet. But breathing. Marcus stepped out of the room and leaned against the wall. He closed his eyes. The adrenaline faded. What replaced it was heavy. A nurse approached quietly. "They're still outside," she said. "Internal affairs arrived." Marcus nodded. He straightened his coat and walked back toward the entrance. Outside, the scene had shifted. More police cars. More phones. Internal affairs investigators speaking quietly to Harris. Keller stood alone near the patrol car, arms crossed tightly, face pale. The journalist's camera swung toward Marcus as he emerged. "Dr. Reed," she called. "Can you tell us what happened?" Marcus stopped. He looked at the camera. Then at Keller. Then at the people watching. "I was stopped," Marcus said calmly. "I identified myself. I asked to go inside. I was denied." "Why?" the journalist asked. Marcus paused. "Because someone decided I didn't belong," he said. Keller flinched. Harris turned sharply toward him. Internal affairs stepped closer. "Officer Keller," one of them said, "we're placing you on administrative leave pending investigation." Keller's face drained of color. "This is bullshit," he snapped. "I followed procedure." "Procedure isn't a shield," Harris said. The second officer stood nearby, silent. His eyes were on the ground. Marcus watched it all without satisfaction. This wasn't victory. It was truth catching up. The journalist lowered her camera slightly. "How does this make you feel?" she asked Marcus. Marcus thought of the curb. The delay. The patient. "Tired," he said. Internal affairs led Keller toward a different car. As he passed Marcus, Keller finally looked at him. There was no anger now. Only the hollow look of someone who had been seen. Marcus met his gaze. Then looked away. Because exposure had done its work. And justice was still moving. The hospital grew quiet in the early morning. Not silent. Just slower. Like it was finally breathing again. Marcus stood at the window on the third floor, hands wrapped around a paper cup he hadn't touched. Dawn pushed faint light across the parking lot below. Police cars were gone now. Cameras too. But the space they left behind felt marked. A nurse approached him softly. "He made it," she said. Marcus closed his eyes. "Stable?" he asked. "For now," she replied. "You did what you could." Marcus nodded. What he could. He had learned to live with that phrase. Footsteps echoed behind him. The hospital administrator stopped a few feet away. Internal Affairs will need a formal statement, he said. Later today. Marcus nodded again. And the board, the man added. They're furious. Marcus almost laughed. Furious doesn't fix what happened, Marcus said. The administrator hesitated. No, he admitted. But consequences are coming. Marcus turned from the window. Good, he said. But understand this wasn't an exception. The administrator met his eyes. I know, he said quietly. They stood there for a moment. Two men inside the same system. Seeing different sides of it. When the administrator left, Marcus finally took a sip of the coffee. It was cold. Later that morning, Marcus walked past the emergency entrance again. The same sidewalk. The same curb. He stopped. For a second, he imagined himself still sitting there. Hands on his knees. Lights flashing. Time slipping away. He imagined how easily this could have ended differently. A handcuff click. A charge. A headline that never mentioned his name correctly. He breathed out slowly. A phone buzzed in his pocket. A message from his sister. I saw the video. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. Marcus stared at the screen. He typed back. Me too. At noon, the press conference happened without him. The department announced an internal investigation. Officer Keller was suspended pending outcome. Policy reviews. Training. Words stacked neatly on top of each other. Marcus listened from his office, door closed. He didn't clap. He didn't smile. Justice, when it came, felt procedural. Clean. Distant. The journalist sent him a message later. Do you want the public apology? Marcus thought about it. He thought about the curb. The delay. The patient gasping for air while someone exercised power for sport. He typed back. I want change. That evening, Marcus walked through the hospital one last time before heading home. Staff nodded at him. Some smiled. Some looked away. He understood all of it. At the exit, he paused. Looked back through the glass. This building saved lives every day. And still, it almost failed one. Outside, the air was cool. Calm. Marcus stepped onto the sidewalk. No lights. No sirens. Just a man walking forward. He knew the cost now. Standing still had nearly taken everything. And moving forward, calmly, visibly, truth intact, was the only justice that lasted. He walked on.